Today was a bit of a motherload day for me with the insignis leaves. Michelle said I was being greedy because we really had more leaves in the car than we could fit, and there wasn't enough room for me to drive, and I had dogs in the car and Michelle, and you can just imagine getting all these home, plus some living plants. The insignis is a very tall tree. It has much larger leaves and much larger leaf lobes than the other varieties of Cecropia. It's also different in that the top surface of the leaves are smooth, almost glossy, while other species of Cecropia are scabrous. They're very rough, and some cultures even use them for fine sandpaper. Not the insignis. It's completely different. And it has some pretty profound anti-inflammatory effects, which is what I need for rheumatoid arthritis. Today's video may be a little different from my typical videos in that it's going to be very topical. I'm going to be talking about the majestic and mighty Cecropia tree, which is native here in Costa Rica. All four of the Cecropia varieties that are indigenous to Costa Rica are represented here on this mountain. We have the insignis, which is a very tall variety with large leaves, large lobes, a very smooth surface, and a white underside. We have the Cecropia peltata, which is another large leaf, large lobed variety of Cecropia. We have the Cecropia obtusifolia. I hope I'm saying these right. The obtusifolia has many lobes on each leaf. The leaves curl when they fall. They basically curl up into a little ball. It has many lobes with blunt ends. Then Cecropia angustifolia is also present. It's similar to the obtusifolia in appearance, and it also curls into a ball, but the leaves are very narrow and pointed. Each variety of Cecropia has some pretty unique and powerful medicinal benefits. I would go so far as to call them pharmaceutical benefits. There are powerful compounds in them. Some varieties have a really strong anti-angiotensin that reduces blood pressure, detectably. You can actually see a drop in your blood pressure after you drink a cup of the tea or the concoction made from roots and leaves and whatever. Some of them have a very positive effect on blood sugar. I mean, they reduce it, they lower it. So someone with prediabetes like me can really benefit from that. I was actually prescribed metformin, but I choose not to take it because it has so many side effects. I have a lot of cardiovascular issues with, lupus and rheumatoid arthritis affecting every system of my body, and vasculitis and POTS and all of these things. So I'm on a journey. I'm exploring ways that these natural plant medicines can help me live a healthier life. I currently take 3 cardiac meds, and part of what they are supposed to control for me is high blood pressure, and they don't all the time. So I'm hoping that the addition of some natural plant medicine will give me a little boost in that department and help keep my blood sugar and my blood pressure a little better regulated. My best guess on this one is Cecropia peltata. It's the larger lobed leaves. They're very distinct from the stem. I'm going to try to go over there and get one. To see if it's rough on the top or smooth. I think that is the peltata, and if that's the case, this is the one that is so good for hypertension, and it's just got a lot of good uses, so we'll see. Okay, we got one. We got a leaf, and it's very smooth on the top. I don't know, because apparently the insignis is supposed to be the only one that's smooth on the surface. So this might be insignis. I don't know. It just, it's very smooth. Nice, pretty leaf. Maybe not peltata after all. Maybe this is the insignis. I really hope I can learn to tell the difference, because each of these Cecropia trees has different benefits. Some overlap, but some are used for one thing and some are used for another. This very well may be in sickness, because it is smooth, very smooth on the top, not rough at all. The bottom looks kind of whitish, slightest. Oh, and there's the ants. There's the ants. Talk about the Cecropia ants. There they are. These they specifically live on these trees. So they're kind of like their little biodome. Now here is a different species. Look at the leaves. If I had to guess on this one, I would guess angustifolia. Angustifolia, I don't know how to say these. Definitely a different kind. The other one is down there, the one that I just took the leaf from. That's it right there. You can see the difference. The leaves down there are much, much larger. Not only the leaves are larger, but the lobes of the leaves are larger, and there's fewer lobes per leaf. Then you have a tree like this. See, it has more lobes per leaf. And there's very deep ridges in the veins of the leaves. So this leaf is definitely rough on the top. I mean, it feels almost like sandpaper. Nothing at all like the other one. Small tree. Kind of a blunt leaf, lobe. These are the lobes. Each individual thing is called a lobe. I'm guessing obtusifolia, because the word obtusifolia means blunt leaf, and there's 4 species of Cecropia in Costa Rica, or 4 predominant species. 2 of them are the large lobed leaves with few lobes. Those would be the insignis and the peltata. Then there are the obtusifolia and the angustifolia, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right. But both of those have many lobes, and the angustifolia supposedly has narrower leaves. So I'm thinking of obtusifolia on this one. I'm going to take a leaf home with me if I can. Now here is a great opportunity to really get the leaves in situ and the monkey fingers fruit. That is a larger lobed variety. Possibly peltata, possibly insignis. I'm just not good enough at this to know yet. And right over there, let me see if I can go under the bridge. I'm on a bridge. There's another larger lobed variety, and behind it a different variety still with the monkey fingers. The monkey fingers fruit are what the sloths and the toucans love to eat. It's the seed pods. And that is that an angustifolia? I mean, look at the leaves. They're very ridged on that one. I don't know how close I can actually zoom in to see, but the leaves are very deeply ridged. And of course, this is Rio Zapote. It's a great opportunity to get good views of the leaves, because these are tall trees. You see way down there. I mean, that is a very tall tree. I'm just up on the bridge above it. Many lobes on this one. Angustifolia, or probably angustifolia, because the lobes are shaped different than the one that I was looking at a few minutes ago that I thought was obtusifolia. These words are too big for me. Many lobes on each leaf, deeply ridged, narrow leaves. And this bridge is shaking because someone's walking on it, but now I'm terrified because I drive across this bridge all the time and I didn't realize it shook, and now I'm scared. Oh boy, okay. It really shakes. It really shakes. I'm having a sick feeling. Michelle! What? Stop bouncing on the bridge! But there's a close-up of the leaves. And I'm thinking angustifolia on these. But I'm not sure. If you're a botanist and you know, please help me out here. Because I'm trying to learn. Look what a pretty river. There's a waterfall down there somewhere. I'm not able to hike to it, but many people are. It's a big waterfall too. It's not a little one. It's just a pretty country here. Look at that. I just want to go jump in it. There's a Cecropia, a very young Cecropia. I see it with my eyeballs. I'm not sure why I can't. There it is. I'm not sure why I can't see it with the phone. There's a little young Cecropia starting up. That one is probably not even a year old. It's probably this year's tree. They grow fast. And see, I've driven the bus across this bridge, the big bus, and I had no idea the bridge shook, which I guess it's a safety feature. I guess the more rigid they are, the easier they would fall, but look at the vine growing up, jungle vine in the trees. Another Cecropia. Cecropia on the hill there. The little one, not the big one. Okay, let me feel this leaf. Larger lobes. This is a young tree, so the leaf is not huge. This might be paltata. Woo, the ants. Whoa, lovely ants. I gotta put it down because of the ants. But few lobes. This is definitely not, I don't think it's obtusifolia or angustifolia. I think it's a very young, perhaps this year's paltata. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lobes. Yeah, that's definitely not a obtusifolia or angustifolia. And the leaves are like sandpaper. So I think this may be peltata, and the smooth one from earlier is insignis. Interesting. Definitely rough as sandpaper. I mean, it feels nothing like that other glossy one that I had. Costa Rica traffic jam. Hola. In all of my videos, and every time you talk to me, I talk about living on a mountain. Well, I'm not kidding. This is the road to our farm. This is the road that leads from Bihagwa up the mountain towards a little town called Aguas Claras. It's quite a distance between the two towns. It kind of circles around the cone of Volcan Miravalles. Well, this is what locals call the ugly hill. This is what we have to go down every time we go into town and climb back up every time we come home. The road's getting into some pretty bad shape. Don't know when they're going to fix it. When you've lived in Costa Rica for a while, you learn not to have expectations. You just deal with what you got. And so this is what we got, and we just say yeehaw and mash the gas. Michelle is harvesting some hojasanta leaves. I'm going to make tea with some of them and use some of them as a poultice. I've got an injured chicken and use a poultice for her. The peak of a volcano right there, that's Miravalles there, and we're going to follow the road on around and come right up to the base of it, but look around and there's Tenorio. That's the second Leo. That's a second volcano that can be seen from right here. Both of them are supposedly sleeping. We don't ever see any real puffs of smoke or any signs that they're rumbling. I hope it stays that way. Okay, I got home with the haul of things that we got. Now this one, at this point, I'm certain is insignis. And I kind of see why the leaves don't curl. That's the one of the 4 varieties whose leaves remain flat. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. These leaves are already starting to curl just since I picked them. And this is what I think is the obtusifolia. And it may be not the obtusifolia, it may be the angustifolia. I have absolutely no idea about that, how to tell the difference. But I'm almost positive that's peltata because it has the few leaves, very few leaves, and see it's already starting to curl. Phoenix. Always dogs. But I feel almost certain that's the peltata. That's the one with the great healing benefits. I'm going to use that in combination with the hojasanta on this injured chicken that I have and see what comes. But those are the little goodies I brought home with me today. I am feeling pretty good that I'm able to distinguish between peltata and insignis. But as far as the angustifolia and the obtusifolia, I may not be there yet. That's one of the two right there in the middle of the frame. This is what I mean by leaves curling. I believe that the brown dried leaf is the same thing as this leaf here. But that's what happens to them when they dry out. And of course it has a very sandpapery surface. So here is a dried version of what I believe is the insignis. And whatever makes the leaves glossy is probably what keeps them from curling. Because this is definitely not the same type. Also, while I was out, I came upon a different variety, and I'm almost sure this is angustifolia. And I may be wrong because it's a juvenile, but I'll tell you what characteristics I see. I see many veins in the leaves, pronounced veins. The top is scabrous. It's very rough. It's nothing at all like the insignis. And the reason I'm thinking angustifolia is that the leaves are very pointed. And here's another one of the same tree. They're very pointed. The obtusifolia is similar, but it has more blunt ends on the leaves. And like I said, I could be fooled because these are juveniles, but that's okay. I got them. We're going to raise them. We're going to see what happens, and they're going to be good for me and good for the environment either way. We'll let them get a little maturity, get some good rootstock growing, and I'll plant them somewhere on the farm. I was able to find a small living tree, and they're pretty tough, pretty hardy, so you can pull them up and they'll still live. And it has the smooth leaves. Now this is a juvenile leaf. The juvenile leaves don't have as many lobes. You have to be careful trying to identify Cecropia varieties when they're young because they don't exhibit all the characteristics of the mature trees. But in this case, this tree was a little more mature. This is a pile of leaves that came off of it. I broke these leaves off as I was pulling it out of the side of the cliff side there. I fell on it and broke these two branches off. They were here, but it left one leaf, so I'm pretty hopeful that it will be okay. I'm going to use these to brew up some tea this evening, some hot Cecropia green tea, and it will be quite good, I'm sure. And here's a very juvenile leaf under there, but this is insignis without a doubt because of the glossy surface. It is the only one of the 4 varieties that feels like that on the top of the leaf. And you see on the underside, the leaves are very pale and white, and they're really pretty when you have a stand of them growing on a hillside and a wind comes along and ruffles them up, kind of like the silver maple in the US that people are familiar with. They put on quite a show.